It's January 2025, and I'm going to be starting to take my woodworking business a little more seriously. Let's look at what we're starting with. My name is Pat Kendall. I am the owner of Kendall Custom Woodworking. I've been passionate about woodworking for about 5 years now. I'm by no means an expert. I'm completely self-taught when it comes to finish carpentry and cabinetry and furniture design. That hasn't stopped me. I've been watching YouTube a lot through the last 5 years to try and learn everything I can, and a lot of trial and error and a lot of failures. And you're going to get to follow me as I gain more experience and make more mistakes and more failures. So hopefully that's entertaining for you. The interesting thing about this channel is I'm going to be very transparent with what comes into my business as far as income and how that gets reinvested into the business. You'll get to see some of the tools that I'm looking to buy, some of the projects that I'm able to sell in order to afford those tools. Something I'm also new to is YouTube. I have been posting videos on Instagram for a while, so I have a very basic understanding of video editing, and I'm going to really start diving into this YouTube thing to see if I can kind of diversify my income and potentially rev up a little more business, and also just see if it's something I enjoy doing. I'm also planning on being very transparent with how the channel is going. So as of right now, obviously 0 views, 0 subscribers. As we go, we'll get to see how maybe what videos do well, what videos don't do well. I will also share all of the income that comes from YouTube, which I know some people are very interested in. I know I was when I was watching the YouTube channels. I always wondered what they were bringing in for YouTube income. So I'm going to share all that with you. The next couple videos are really going to be some shop tours. I'm going to show you what tools that I currently have that I'd like to upgrade, what tools that I don't have that I'd like to buy, how much those tools are going to cost me, and what kind of projects I'm going to have to sell to be able to afford them. Of course, at the heart of this channel, it's going to be all about woodworking and building furniture, different projects that I could potentially sell. I'm going to walk you through how I make that furniture, how I make those projects, the different techniques I use, the tools I use, where I learn those techniques from, usually from YouTube. And you're going to get to watch me fail miserably or succeed. Lastly, I have a couple products that I have already developed. I'm going to show you what those products are and how I plan to sell them and see how well they do. Before the end of this video, I'm going to show you a project that I made in December for a friend of ours as a Christmas present. This was a set of custom coasters with a design that we burned onto the coasters. You'll also see a line board that I included free of charge. You'll get to see a bunch of scrap wood turn into a beautiful set of coasters that I was able to sell, and my customer was able to give as a present to her father.
I made these coasters out of some walnut offcuts that I had laying around the shop. I found if I was able to get at least 1/4 inch out of them, I could glue them up and plane them down to get these coasters. So I started by gluing them up in long strips, and then I could cut them down afterwards. I find also gluing up this 8/4 material, you could sometimes get a nice book match on your coaster, which definitely I felt elevated the look of the coasters. You notice, obviously, I made a lot more coasters than I actually need. I like to keep a stockpile just for future projects. I like to give these away as just added value. So you can see there's me cutting them on my crosscut sled down to size. So you got a couple different styles here. These particular ones, I use the walnut. Here I'm applying something called torch paste to our Cricut stencils that I put on these coasters. The torch paste is what's going to allow us to get that burnt look. So as you can see, after I take off all the excess stencil, we're left with a very thin layer of this torch paste. Very tedious getting all those tiny little bits and pieces off. So what the torch paste does, well, I don't know exactly what it does, but all I know is when I hit it with this heat gun, the torch paste will actually burn to a black color. And we put on some Mod Podge on the stencils to make sure we had nice crisp lines. And I think it did a really nice job. This was our first time kind of experimenting with that Mod Podge. So there's another closer look of as you apply the heat, what that torch paste is doing. Got that torch paste on Amazon. It's been working pretty well. I find with every project we're getting a much better result with it. So I did mention we also included a lime board. I also mentioned earlier that I like to include a little extra with some of my projects whenever I give them to new customers or even existing customers. It is a very simple thing just to have an offcut of wood, put that same stencil on it. Just takes another extra couple minutes, but it's a huge added value to the customer to get a little something they weren't expecting. And that mineral oil makes that grain pop really nicely. A very figured piece of walnut. And there it is, packaged up and ready to go to my customer for Christmas.
I hope you enjoyed my first video. I'm going to be making much more now. I'm hoping to make approximately one video every 2 weeks or so, as I am still working a full-time job. Those videos are going to include things like shop tours, tool reviews, and of course projects where you can watch me build custom furniture and different projects from scratch for my customers. And also, if you're interested in some of the other things that I've already done in the past couple of years, you can visit my Instagram, where I'm posting more regularly than YouTube. This is day 1, January 2025. My channel, I hope to show you all the struggles and you'll get to follow me right from square one. I can't guarantee you it's going to go well. It may crash and burn. It may stay as the small, humble business that it is right now. And with that, thanks for watching. See you next time.